Listen to this track, bitch. Hey. Hey.
And here we go. What is up, man? We're back.
What up?
We're going to check out 4 tracks from Lupe's new album, Drogas Wave.
Drogas.
Now, I know this because I couldn't wait to get this. Phill hasn't heard this yet, which works out good because I can skip like the interludes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, let's check out Drogas, which will be the first song, which we're not going to know anyways, but the Phill will be there.
Socio 101.5, buenos días mi gente, Leticia aquí mandándoles saludos donde quiera que estén, Texas, México, Los Ángeles, hasta Colombia, Centro y Sudamérica, Miami, mi pana del Caribe, Barcelona y de regreso a Chicago. Les mando besos, saludos y que este día les traiga amor, dinero, prosperidad. Hoy mira nomás, qué sorpresa, nuestro amigo Lupe y Fiasco me dejó unas canciones para jugarles. ¿Están listos? Ándale pues, aquí les va, Drogas.
Dios es mi droga, sino a que soy adicta. Bonita chica se encuentran de Costa Rica o tal vez Colombia y cantar sobre el volatica. Habían de reggae, no lucha en tonos, las mujeres más. Sin pistolas, solo rosas, es mejor que la coca. Tranquilo, señorita, deja para ir a Barranquilla. Besos. Como me veo realmente bueno. Besos. Como me veo realmente bueno.
It's something about money.
Dios es mi droga, sino a que soy adicta. Bonita chica se encuentran de Costa Rica o tal vez Colombia y cantar sobre el volatica. Había de reggae, no lucha en tonos, las mujeres más.
Something about being with chicas on Costa Rica, something about money, and Drogas.
Drogas. Like you said, something about sons and drugs.
We are people who have historically been on the verge of extinction. We have been at many times under much stress since being brought into this country on many slave ships.
Reparations from segregation. Genius at Genesis, master system Segas. Punjabi mommy, dissect invaders on Sepulveda. Anointed players who call phrases this metal paper. Level layers, several shades of gray, a submission for it. MILF lover under silk covers who kiss her horses. Pilates central to preserving the body temple. Jazz classics, combating the fattest ass status. Quotient, my potion soaking like those in oceans. Motion sickness, I overdid out my finesse back. Multi-decking new refreshment lessons from jet snacks. My mama wisdom, my competition is setbacks. Jet lagging, very swagging, my Jordans dirty. AMG performance, my foreign don't show no mercy. Mere products, objects meaningless to the overstanders. Contemplating with industrialists and social planners. Don't want us, 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 don't want us. God said, life's work overseeing the 5 classics. You can accomplish anything if you survive blackness. Sober living, kosher kitchen, and co-defendants. Soda sipping, the so rhythms and global vision. Fear no verdict, but I feel allergic to local prisons. My new resurgence to do return into socialism. Youth moves pay dividends as an old man. Snake-headed lion got his body with gold hands. Father sends his twins into the underworld. Though legendary, I weapon carry for same goals. My February's is necessary to save souls. Epilepsy diamonds flicker foolish on the cuff wrist. Do my duty to be useless to the fuck shit. Manufacture finished goods to service local needs. Dashboards like the means to show my total speeds. Fast forward floors, forge organs to go, man. Construct the future with 30 bars. Long tenures, I'm returning home to 30 cars. Jasmine necklace from a poor woman, no Hindu streets. I gave her rupees, she gave me beauty, I took the creek. Don't run us, 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 don't run us. God said, Roman logic, Greek prophets and be more youngins, they 12 o'clock in the jumping scooters. Through entertainment, I entertained and run the future. In time, checked off my checkouts, too much we broke computers. Chakra waves, singing bowls, slurring, I'm Dalai Lama. Creation, step in my mental selection, Bobby Condas. Nightmare, women, dream girls, embodied monsters. Don't confuse my temptation battles for bottom munchers. Soul pilot to my reputation is bodhisattva. Work about it, jealous, all Venus in this topless opera. Lost the combination, need security to come and pop a locker. Still no drinking, just bought this champagne here to watch this vodka. Pump band merchandise, patches on leather coats. Tell you tales of illegal sales by fetid boats. Swallowed by waves, the hollow graves, they'll never float. Sunken ships carry slave tokens to western coast. Don't run us, 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 don't run us. God said, don't run us.
Copper alloy bracelet stones were recognized and used for currency as transactions from the end of the 15th century to the mid-20th century. Their metal content varied from copper to brass. Most manila were manufactured in England or France, and like trade beads, were used for trades with Africa. The local chiefs on the slave coast of West Africa traded their human cargo for many different commodities, and manila was one of them. This manila was manufactured in Birmingham between 1830 and 1850. It was being shipped to Africa to be bartered for one slave each manila. These slaves were then packed into holds of ships and taken to the West Indies and the Americas to be sold for vast profits if they did not die from the journey. The Dura was one of the slave ships with trade goods on their way to Africa to pick up her human cargo when she hit a rock and sank in 1843.
He collects those Manilas. Yeah. He's got a few of them. He showed them in a video. Copper brass used for trade for people. Doesn't that seem so insignificant now?
Me tell you about the thing. Come sit round the fire.
Oh, snap. My bad. Anyways, Phil, what'd you think about those two? We had Drogas, which was in Spanish, but you can kind of pick out.
Yeah, I heard a few words. Like, it was... It's almost like when there's two people that have a conversation in Spanish, and you're like, well, I heard this, I heard that word. And a lot of times they're like, yeah, that's what I said. But then when you have the people who have like the thick accent, or the ones who, you know, the V's sound like a B, and then some B's are like silent, like, you know, bueno is pronounced bueno. Mm-hmm. But some people will be like, either it's so soft you barely hear it, or sometimes it sounds like a W, like bueno. You know, like, so when you get to the people who are like so fluent or you know, deep, their I guess dialect or whatever, like certain words sound like other words, unless you hear everything around it, you know, and you have to know what every single word is except that one. Versus the opposite, what we do is like, okay, I hear that one word and I don't know nothing else around it. You know? So like, aside from that, I feel like I was still able to kind of pick up some of it, but it's like when people are fluent and they speak it, like everything just flows, so they don't even think about, you know, they speak it like they're talking to another Spanish speaker. Which most of the time they are, but like there are certain things that you just know when you're in the culture that if somebody else heard, even if they knew that word, if they heard it when you saying it, talking to somebody else who's fluent, like they might completely just miss that word because it sounds like something else, or it's just they're so close together that you don't know where the space is. Yeah, but other than that, like it sounded like from what I got, like it sounded like there was a decent message in there. Like I said, it sounded like he said something about sons and drugs, or my boys and drugs, and then bonita chicas, the little cute girls and places or something. I don't know. Like I'm gonna have to get that translated, somewhere.
Right. So we think about Manila.
Second one. It wasn't until like towards the end that when you were saying what you were saying and what was going on right when you said that it hit harder. That's like those are true events.
Mm-hmm.
Like because there are some times where like you can explain something so vividly that like I can see that happening. But when you're explaining something so vividly because it's real, like it's not like I can see that happening. It's like it happened. And it's like I'm there.
Yeah.
The difference of me painting a picture in your imagination versus reimagining something that happened, like it gives it a level of realness that's like out of this world. Like, like towards the end, it was like I'm not even listening to the beat anymore. It was like what he's saying. It was like just focus on that because it was like okay, this is like getting more real. And right when you said that, and he was talking about the people in the trade, and this is heading back to the West Indies, and like this is what they did on a regular basis. I was like, oh snap, okay, he's talking about a very real situation.
Yeah.
Or this happened.
The thing about real versus creating something that's unreal is when you create something unreal, you have to kind of use your imagination to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
If something is explained in detail with reality, that means that you've seen it in reality before. So it's that much more vivid because that experience is there.
You have more things to look at. Like if somebody was to explain this room based off the floor plan and what you told them was here, like they'd be like, most likely there's white walls. Either the ceiling is flat or it's bumpy, depending on what you said. He said he had some comics on the wall, so they might be there.
Right.
But if you're in here, like, and you're on the phone with somebody, okay, this is what my room looks like. When you walk in, you'll know what it's like. Even if I don't tell you where it's at, the moment you walk in, you know exactly what it is. I have this. There's 3 rows of comics. There's like, and when you explain stuff in detail, there's all this stuff from in the middle. As I turn, I see this. This is where I put in work. That's where I sleep till the time when I work late. This is here. This is there. Fans down there, they walk in and be like, this is literally how you explained it.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
like it's a mental image of something that's real versus you reaching and putting these pieces together to form what you think that they're trying to say.
All right, we got gold versus the right thing to do. So, I really like this one.
Come sit round the fire. Me tell you where we come from. Me tell you the story. Some men wanna live like a banker. Fill up the ship, then pull up the anchor. Pay the man them to come run and take ya. Rasclat chain in the brainwash nature. Jah give me your clothes and my tailor. Drop leg to the rhythm of the maker. Mash up the board of the fussy wholesaler. No rain or fall pan a Babylon acre. Zinc fence but me man is a mansion. Them a suffer but still have a bashman. Them in the cross but them still be a dancing. Everything cook curry like a champion. In the jam but the man him a jamming. Original you should come from the fashion. Me already done seen what the future hold enough go for the dark hearts in the chasms. So build up your chest like a skin teeth in a bad man wagon. No fear me a duppy assassin. Make a wish me a duchy a laden. With them eyes eye for them earth strong. Give thanks to the the first gun. Demand word like a bird song. I yourself may work pun. You can't tell you about the nations. Revelation men in the wicked navigation. Smell up the slaves and stuff them in arrangement. We the children of the first generation. Fire burn, Babylon, river mouth, soon forward, fire burn, Babylon, down praise, shell blaze.
All I got is gold, golden memories. When I think about what you meant to me, all I got is gold, golden memories. When I think about what you did to me, when I think about, 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 when I think about.
Man, never come down from England. Anyone come down for your kingdom. Same got enough vanilla for the youth and the gal and the man, won't you bring some? Calawa and Bashi, you sight me. Same don't want the little like the feisty. Same got enough big for the trip. Now worry about the thing, man. Everyone irate. Fuck worry me now, want to do it. And my something man want me to trade. Pick me for a quantity, but head must take me for that shit. Put a cutlass and there's no sense. Why? Well, in your dreams and the smell and the sound and the screams and the panic and the captain and the crew who don't know what to do as the shit comes apart of the scenes. Got 'em, shit gets pulled to the bottom by a group of men and women holding ropes with large hooks on the ends, specifically designed for catching boats. Crew in disbelief as they choke the weight of the chains on the slaves, pulling down on what they think are their graves. Afraid as they sink from the surface of the sea, till a soft voice in the water tells them, breathe. River mama, soon forward, fire burn, Babylon, down praise, job blaze.
All I got is gold, golden memories. When I think about what you meant to me, all I got is gold, golden memories. When I think about what you did to me.
That might be a triple.
What you got?
The golden memories.
Yeah.
So the obvious one, golden memories. One thing about what you did to me is people got traded for gold.
Mm-hmm.
We know that one. But then what they went through to get the gold, you know, whether they were mined or you know, working day and night and sifting it out the river, or like losing their lives in the
Process of mining.
Like what you did to me. And then the fact that a lot of them got traded by their own people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then the idea of, oh, it might be a quadruple. The idea of having gold, put them through that, and put the people that came over there like in a position to where they cared more about the gold than the people themselves, to say, okay, well, y'all are dying, but there's so many of you that it doesn't really matter. So get back in there if you want. You know, so provide these little, 30 cents a day for your family. That might be a quadruple. That might be a quadruple.
The meaning of the entire song. Next one up.
Wow.
We have is Wave Flies. I skipped the interlude. It's just a high-pitched violin playing. Mm-hmm. When you get the album, listen to it. Like, listen to everything straight through. Everything fits.
Yeah.
But that's all that is. So, this is another one that I really like.
Another one. Wow.
You gotta remember, they got pulled down to the bottom of the ocean. Previous song.
He's Tell the story.
Way with us, baptized and convert to the waves with us. I tuned into what the future holds. I can never be a slave, niggas. They gon' have to pay me. Navy downloaded by the titles like Jay-Z. That's a roll offshore like an AP Davy Jones, like a on top of those hoppers off the side of the ship. Suicide didn't die from the dip. Submarine man, keep your eyes on the blips. Sonar, echo location, and where we are phasing. Get back to our nation. Hola. So we walking back to Africa, and I found a detour to the seashore. Yes, jumped off the deck to leave footsteps on the depths of the seafloor.
My bones is where the beach is white, where the beach is white, cause they bleach just like. So I'm going back home, took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ. Wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water. Yeah, my bones is where the beach is white, where the beach is white, cause they bleach just like. So I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ.
With us, vibe with us, imbibe with the tide, see salty cause it cried with us. When we looked it in the eyes, like how could you help her? Beside and apologize and said that I'm sorry with shelter. Y'all can live down here forever, drowning is severed from all your lungs and the lungs of your sons to your daughters. The water's a treasure. Some in the forest, talking the trees. Like how could you be in the chorus with something so horrid? You became boards for the floors and the doors of the warships. Anthropomorphic, the forest returned with a match made from itself and said burn us with that. Then left again and came back with that axe. We can serve you as furniture, furnace is black, yeah.
My bones is where the beach is white, where the beach is white, cause they bleach just like. So I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ. Wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water. Yeah, my bones is where the beach is white, where the beach is white, cause they bleach just like. So I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ. Walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow.
Watch what they do.
Yeah, shipwreck with us. Grab vessels, bring them down to the depths with us. Take a hold of the bow with a Jesus. And the Brigantine Sanderson. And the Amistad. And the Henry of London. Elizabeth, Fanny Butler. And the Hector. And the Creed, the Baratoga. And the Martha Lauren. And the Caroline. And the Brittany. And the Comet, Alabama. And the Wanderer. Henrietta Marie. The Molly, the Sloop. The Moloch. And the Moor Murtay. And the River Volta. The Lord Board. The LSC. The Eagle. The Agent Coca. And the Colorado. Tartar Morgan. The Misa. The Pongas. And the Mary Bull. And the Serve. Queensberry. And the Liverpool. The Marquis O'Grady. The Inbox. The Ferros. The Leons. The Navigator. And the Phoenix. Plator, Moo, Dragon, Grey
All
Wave,
slave shit.
Caroline Bark, and attacking in New York, Carrollton, Dennis Swallow, Green Dragon, and the Charles, the April A, the Moon Tapping and the Slam, Hannibal of London, Jeffrey, Little Feet, Mediterranean, Anna Lee, the Solomon, and the Tyre, Cough, the Mercy, the Envy, the Little Napoleon, Rainbow, Enterprise, the Catherine, Bristol, the Conde of the Anne, the Adelaide Brooks, and the Law.
My bones is where the beach is white, where the beach is white, cause they bleach just like. So I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ. Wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water. Yeah, my bones is where the beach is white, where the beach is white, cause they bleach just like. So I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ.
The sevens to the heavens and the skies in us. Conversations with the constellations while you navigate the haters. Black baby alligator betas, supposed to do greater with all of your alphas and betas and minors and majors. You were so busy just trying to shine. You should have been trying to save us. Start said excuse our behavior. We will be indebted to you for all of eternity if you counseled your heart and forgave us. Remove all our favors from children to sailors and slavers. Repay you with acres, but here in the heavens where harvest is greater, a meager inheritance. Pardon our arrogance, those with Americans got them two places much safer here.
My bones is where the beach is, white where the beach is, white could it bleach just like so. I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ. Wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water, wow, wow, walking on water. Yeah, my bones is where the beach is, white where the beach is, white could it bleach just like so. I'm going back home, I took a leap last night, so I'm walking on water to my feet just like Jesus Christ.
For you, for fire and man for you.
Aw.
What the ding ding?
In the path for you, sings all in the house for you, for fire and man for you, stars fall off the flat for you, sure. Free in the path for you, sings all in the hat for you, for fire and man for you, stars fall off the flat for you, sure. Free in the path for you, sings all in the hat for you, for fire and man for you, fall off the flat for you, sure. Free in the path for you.
All right. Phill, stink.
Wow. It wasn't until the second time in the verse, the chorus came around, that I realized that was the acronym.
Oh, the
Yeah,
Wow.
walking on water. Because he was like, wow, wow. I was like, that would be pretty
Walking on
amazing.
water. Wow, wow. Yeah.
That'd be pretty amazing.
This
I can see
song
when you
right
say wow,
here-
then I was like, oh snap, he's
Like, there's actually a few meanings in this song. He starts off with, I can't be no slave, you gonna have to pay me.
Mhm.
And then he goes into the whole Jay-Z bit or whatever. Like the AP, like a Jay-Z. He's actually talking about during this whole concept, he's talking about the music industry as well.
yeah.
And then he's also talking about,
I figured that from the first verse,
yeah,
and then I think he went literal.
right, because and then he's also talking about the people in the bottom in society. That's what the whole slave thing, it's the concept is slave,
Oh yeah, it's still yeah.
right? Like
Uh-huh.
bringing slaves over, and then he brings it to relation to the music industry, the artist being the slave
Yeah.
to the corporation. And then he brings it to society, where the people on the bottom are
Florida,
slaves.
yeah.
Yeah, we're slaves as
You
well.
stay down here forever.
So it's
And it says something like you're hard to breathe until you start breathing, something like that. Then your kids can breathe, and your kids can breathe down here, something like that.
all right. It's
like
so you have that layered meaning right there, like that triple meaning right there.
and then also Atlantis.
Then you get into when you start with the first, like meaning of the actual slaves or whatever, like them living on the bottom of the sea and everything.
Yeah.
And he starts talking about how they're talking to the elements, talking to the sea, talking to water, talking to
That and real quick, all the ones that live on the bottom of the sea literally are dead,
mm-hmm.
but figuratively aren't living. Because if you're at the very bottom, and if you're at the bottom of society, you're barely getting by, and everybody,
You're not living the life
You're not
that
living-
you probably aspire to have.
you're not
Exactly.
living life to its fullest, but you're not really living life. You're not alive because everything that you're doing is just trying to maintain what you got. So if you got to work a dead end job or work several jobs to like barely scrape by, then you won't even get to enjoy nothing, and you're not living. You're not living, and you're not. Nor are you alive.
Now, we're going to get into the the slave part meaning with them talking to the elements. You gotta remember spirituality, it was really, really strong in Africa. Like we're like worshiping the elements. So he's saying that those people are asking the elements like, we praise you, we worship you. How you gonna betray? How you gonna betray us? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the waves was like, you know, I apologize. Y'all can live down here forever. Basically, like you gonna be down here dead forever. You know what I'm saying? The trees was like, hey, here's a match. You know, he like came back with a match made from that. You know what I'm saying? You can burn us with that. And he came back with an axe and said we can serve you as furniture or furnace the black, like basically be firewood to keep y'all warm. And then like how you gonna talking to the stars, like how you gonna navigate the haters? You know what I'm saying? But then the stars was like, you know, excuse our arrogance, but those being taken to the Americas are going to be in a safer position. You know what I'm saying? Like, the concept is just dope as hell to me.
That's definitely going to be a multi-lesson. You got to sit there and break that mess down.
Because I got it when it first came out. And then I listened to it first to listen. I wanted to hear the songs and get the actual vibe. Because when I seen 24 songs, I'm like, damn, like, Lupe not gonna do no more music out of this? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of music.
Is this the last hurrah?
Like, that's a lot of music, really, it is. So, when he,
that's enough for a double album.
Then that's what it came, that's what it was. That's what it was. You don't know that when you stream music. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not broken up that way. So, I just thought it was just 24 albums. 24. Because when I got Rich's Last Call, it was like 22. That's just straight through. It's not a double album. That's just straight through. So I was just like, man, like Lupe just had a lot of stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. Now I found out it was a double album, and that helped explain why the mood of the album changed from the concept, and then I was over to this concept.
Like to give to the curse.
Right. So I was like, okay, got it. I got that figured out.
Which, by the way, the curse was better. I'm just saying.
Me personally, I listened to it. I kept listening to it, and then them pieces started to come together and fit in, because all that, like, you know, you got the Drogas, you know, but then you get into the Manilas, then you get into the Gold, What Would It Do, then you get into the interlude of the ship, which is like the sound, like we didn't listen to it, but it's like the music of the ship being pulled down to the bottom of the ocean. Then it goes into Why Flies. I was like, okay, got this now. The story. I was like, I got it. So then I started thinking, I had to start applying my understanding and knowledge of investigating the slave trade. And I was like, okay, when he started naming off the ships, I knew what that was. But then when he started talking to like the different elements, I was like, that's right, African spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started coming to. I was like, okay, now I got it.
I got it.
But
I got it.
Album is dope. I'm going to review on all these albums once I finish all the songs. I can tell you right now, this is a 9 out of 10 for me. It's only not a 10 out of 10 because he loses half a point for it being a homework album. Like, nigga, grown ass men have other things to do than do homework on your music.
Hashtag get woke, man. Hey, you ain't gonna know about it unless it's brought to your attention.
Then the other half is him and Big Crit normally always have a feature together, and it's always fire. And they had the nerve to do double albums this time around. Like, because Big Crit last album was a double album too.
Really?
Yeah. They got the nerve to do double albums this time and not feature each other like they normally do. I was kind of disappointed in that. I was looking forward for that feature. They
Joe
always do dope songs together. So he loses half point for that too. I was like, that's jacked up, bro. I was looking forward to that. Anyway, that's going to do it for Drogas Wave. I will do the rest of the songs, give my thoughts and opinions. Phil's going to have to get up on this album. But you guys know what's up. We did all this because there's a lot of music coming out, bro.
Apparently.
And if I really cared about Yandi, I would listen to it, but I just don't really care about Yandi.
You lost all your points with the name, so if it's an amazing album, you get 1 point. If it's like a 10 out of 10 for most people, it'll just be 1. Because you can't keep doing this.
It's Yandi. It's Yeezus. It's Yandi. Soon he'll be.
Was he going Yod?
He'll be Yod next.
I mean, he might as well go through everything. Let him be Yanesh.
Yanesh.
The little elephant.
Yiva. Yasumaru.
Yiva. The little 6-arm chick, he gonna be Yiva.
Yiva. Yasumaru, the little dog, the sun god dog.
Oh yeah.
Yasumaru.
Matter of fact, let's just go full blown everything, Greek and Roman. He gonna be Use. Yoden.
Yosidon. He's going to be everything.
Hercules. Oh man. I'll be like, nope, I'm done. Somebody need to assassinate this fool. I'll pay for it and I'll do it in PayPal. Like, you can catch me. I don't care. You gotta, I do it on the phone, send a text.
Oh man.
Wiretap, say the magic words, be like, terrorist bomb, kill Kanye.
Y'all can see Phil's feeling about Kanye West right now.
If he did that, it would be hilarious. But like, he would be like, okay, well, you're to the point now where you gotta go.
You've run out of ideas. It's time to erase you off the planet.
If somebody else was to post this, they're gonna be like, Finn's making death threats on Kanye. Clickbait.
Clickbait.
At the very end to us.
I'm Nixon, Phill.
Peace.
And we're out.